bongo bingos, which has just taken the nightlife industry by absolute storm.
It was just chaos. It had a really cult following. There was mad bonus rounds. It was just absolutely carnage. Like, you're sweating. The numbers come out fast. You've got like 90-year-old women just like marking things off. Whether you're playing for £1,000 or even like a unicorn, that feeling when you're one number away, I've played it. You're hooked. Imitation's the serious form of flattery or whatever it is. And I'm like, no, I don't care. Look, it really, really got to me.
You can't just be complete chaos at every single show. And a formula take time, energy, tea.
The demand for tickets after COVID, I think a lot of that was to do with, people hadn't done anything for so long. Yeah, one of them I think was like over 1 million people live watching them. If we had like top-notch professional dancers, you kind of feel like you have to then sit and watch. For us, when we're on stage, you can tell how much we're just having a laugh, and like 10 minutes later, someone from that group just completely stripped naked and ran down one of the tables.
Yeah, we're live.
How's it
Welcome.
going?
I'm buzzing
Hello.
for today.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Excited.
it's been a little while in the making, hasn't it?
It has.
Yeah.
It has been a long time.
So, Jess, and I keep wanting to call you Jono, because I mix up
Jono.
Damo and Johnny in my head.
Damo?
But it's Johnny.
Yeah, hey Damo. Damo's
out
the
there.
PR guy there.
Yeah, loving life.
Looking fresh.
And you guys are the, founder and managing director
Yes.
of Bongo Bingos, which has just taken the nightlife industry by absolute storm.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Mad. 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah,
Over
11th year this
50
year.
locations in the UK.
Yes.
Mental. Tell us about the beginning journey. How did it all start?
So, it actually, before Bongo's Bingo, it was kind of on the back of a pub quiz I used to do. So I used to run, I was in the hospitality trade for years, bars and restaurants, and then I used to like going to pub quizzes, and I thought, the bar I was managing in Liverpool, I thought I'll put one on, and I was trying to come up with a name for it, and like I'd never used the name Jonny Bongo before, but I was going to call it Johnny Phoenix's Monday Night Quiz, and someone literally said, "What about Jonny Bongo?" I was like, "Yeah, that'll do. Put it on the flyers." So I did this quiz, Jonny Bongo's Monday Night Quiz, which was a quiz, like questions, but then it was a bit
Wild.
wild. Like, probably couldn't get away with some of the stuff now. Like, this is like 15 years ago. It was just chaos. It had a really cult following. It was mad bonus rounds. It was just absolutely carnage. So did that for about 5 years and was looking at doing something else. It was the quiz was still really popular, but I had this sort of, I just wanted to do another event, and I met with my business partner Josh. He at the time he was trying to put on an event. He was running club nights around Liverpool, an event called Wax. And we got together. Long story short, I was like, well, maybe bingo. We'll try something with bingo. It's kind of like the quiz, something that pub quizzes can be a bit boring or stale sometimes. So bingo can sometimes be seen as a little bit, something that your nan does. But it's a good game. So we put on the first event, 11 years ago, in a venue called Camping Furnace. And again, it was very similar to the quiz. It was still bingo, or like the quiz is still a quiz. Have you been to Bongo's Bingo?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you play bingo, don't you?
Yeah.
But it's all the added creativity thrown into it. It's all the prizes, the dance-offs, the production and stuff. But at its heart, Bongo's Bingo is still
Quintessentially
it's
bingo.
quintessentially bingo.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but I think once we'd made the jump from doing like a quiz, which can be more, it's a little bit more niche because you have to actually be able to answer questions or have a bit of general knowledge. But whereas bingo, it's accessible. Anyone can play it.
Mm.
So as soon as we made that jump to doing bingo, I've never seen anything like it. Those early days, how quick the event snowballed, and it was never planned to become what it is today. It was just literally put on let's put a fun night on for our mates. But yeah,
But why do people like bingo? Because in my head, if you take away like the whole Bongo's Bingo, the whole show, it's like an old person's game.
Yeah, but I think like Johnny said, like anyone can literally play it. Like with a quiz, you've got obviously like proper load of questions. You have to have knowledge, and like it's harder to do on a bigger scale. Whereas like it's just chance, and I think it's kind of like people just like a bit of a toss the hat in the ring really, and gets quite competitive. And
there's an excitement.
Yeah.
I like since like one thing we've found as well, since people have come to the Bongo's Bingo, we've actually, a lot of people, that might be their first experience of bingo, and they actually after want to try more traditional, like go to a Mecca or a gala. It's actually bringing more people in to be interested in bingo. But
Amazing.
like, if you ever been to like a traditional bingo hall?
No.
Because they're
it
intense.
it is like you're sweating. The numbers come out fast. You've got like 90-year-old women just like marking things off. Like it's
And they've got like multiple cards. Like people always ask us, like, can we have another card? We need another bingo card, but we only do one. They're literally there, like, you know, with so many. And then they've got like automated ones as well. But yeah, it's a very competitive.
yeah,
Right.
that feeling when you're one number away,
Sweating out.
hands
Is that the
shaking.
beer? Is it the tequila? Or
Yeah,
is it
you know, whether it's in the
Pure
net, whether you're
adrenaline.
playing for £1,000 or even like a unicorn, when you're that feeling when you're one number away, I've played
You're
it.
in.
You're hooked. You're
I love
sweating.
this. But you guys sell out at like so many locations you operate at.
Yeah.
How do you keep that consistency after 10 years with something that's so simple as bingo?
I think that really it's like, you know, we'd never change the actual format of the show. So when we first started, we'd do 8 games, which is a bit mental now
Yeah.
thinking about it. Now we do 5, but the actual format of the show hasn't changed. There's always been a rave round, there's always been the bingo, but it's kind of just evolved and developed. And I think also, like, you know, a lot of places that, you know, even though we're going into our 11th year, we've not done all the locations for 11 years. So it's quite new to a lot of people still. But then we do have some locations that we've been doing for 10 years and it's still just as popular. Like the audience changes slightly. I think people go, oh, that'd be a great birthday night out. That'd be a great hen do night out. It's just kind of, it's just an easy night. And I think it's alternative to going to a bar and having a drink with your mates. Obviously that's fun. But especially if you're like wanting something a bit different or exciting or, you know, something where you are dancing a lot more, it's just kind of the perfect thing to do.
So do you have a lot of repeat customers or is it quite
Yeah.
fresh every time?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we do.
well that's kind of one thing we've noticed. Like when we first started, it was on a Thursday night, so it was a mostly students that sort of
Mm.
came.
Yeah.
And then after a little while, it was kind of like students were like, you know what, I could bring my ma to this, or my dad, or my auntie, or even my nan. So after like about a year in, we noticed the demographic of the audience being completely mixed, and I think that's also one really nice thing. I think that's one of like sort of the unique selling points of it is you're going to an event where it's not just one type of
Yeah.
people. It's such a mix. You stand out on the stage and look at the crowd every show, and I love it. Like it's, you know, you could have
Yeah.
like a group of like 80-year-old women having a laugh, and then just like 4 like Scouse hard lads, just like, but everyone's but the
Yeah.
energy's the same.
And I think there's always people that haven't been still. So there's always people that are like, you know what, just give it a shot if they think it's not for them. They've just always kind of got new people coming through. But, you know, some people are coming back like 3, 4, 5 times a year. You know, some people come back even more than that. But like really on average, if people enjoy the night, they're coming back, you know, at least twice a year or, you know, consistently. It's not really like if you go to the theatre and see like a play or whatever and you kind of like, I've seen that now, I want to see something else. Whereas because every night is the same format, but the audience is different, the host might play different songs, the prizes are different. It's an experience that you can do over and over again without being bored. So a lot of people do come back and bring other people, and that's kind of where the audience grows.
I think a lot of people that have been, one of their things they love to do is they love to go again and bring someone that hasn't been.
Right.
So they almost like live vicariously through them, like almost watching someone pop their cherry at the bingo for the first time and be like,
Yeah.
you know, like that sometimes like they'll know what's maybe coming up next, so they know there might be a bit in the show that we do every show that's like, but they're almost like not watching the show, they're watching their mates going
You
like,
can see them in the crowd.
yeah,
You're
they're
like,
going,
they've just
wait for
brought
this.
these people because they're literally looking at their face going, this bit's next. This bit. And I think people like to have that like in the know, if you know what I mean. So when they're bringing someone else, they're like, I know this bit and I know that bit, so that they can kind of like be part of it.
I think we've been really lucky as well because, you know, because of the style of the event and how much fun it is, and the like sometimes people will look at from the outside looking in, look at an event and go, that's not for me. Like I won't enjoy that. And it's usually those people that actually buzz off the show the most, because I think even if you're a little bit of an introvert, you're not really into getting up and dancing, because everyone's on the same level at a show. You almost look out of place if you're not getting involved. It's like like I think people find it a bit strange that they've come out of their comfort zone. Like, what am I doing? I'm up dancing, but
it's the unexpectedness of they're going into it going like, this is not for me, because there's been so many people that, you know, say that and then they're literally like, oh my God, this is, I've had the best night ever, or just like, I think looked at it from the outside, whatever they thought it was, and just not realise that actually when you're in the room, it's just everyone can be there, anyone can have fun. And it's just like a big family party, I think. Like kind of the way I describe it, like, the music is for everyone. Obviously there's songs which like some people might not know or the others might, but really, generally, any age that you are, whatever kind of music you like, there'll be consistently so many songs that you can get involved with. Or even just the actual like form of bingo is just like anyone can enjoy it too. So
yeah. So when did you realise that this was going to be a machine?
I think, well, yeah.
I feel like you were in denial for a bit.
I probably still am in. I
Yeah.
probably still am in denial. I don't like
Yeah.
hasn't really sunk in of how actually big that it's gone. But definitely in the early days when you still paid on the door, it was a couple of months in, and like we were turning people away every single show, and because we were turning people away, people were turning up early to get in the queue. So sometimes I'd be going to go set up a show, and like the show didn't start till 8, and at 3-4 o'clock there's a queue of already like 100 people, and like
mental. And
yeah.
Wow.
So
And this was in Liverpool.
This was in
like,
Liverpool. So
yeah.
what was the capacity? Maybe about 800.
like 750 to 800.
So there was nights where the security would go down the queue with a clicker, count the 700 or 800 or whatever it was, and then stop it and literally turn, like no joke, like 1,000
It
people
was
away.
awful, yeah. But we ended up doing that earlier and earlier because, like you say, they came at like 3 o'clock. So we might not even open doors till like 6, but we'd be closing the queue at 5.
Wow.
And just being like, we don't want you to waste an extra hour trying to get in.
And this was after like how long of operating?
I mean, this was like only a few
months.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I think because it was like the new thing in town, I think like obviously your quiz was so popular, and those, a lot of the stuff that you did at the quiz, you like transferred over or tweaked or whatever, but it was that same energy and that same vibe. So you've got all of the people that absolutely love that, but then a whole new audience as well that are like, hang on, like I might not be good at quizzes, but let me see what it's like. And because it's on a bigger scale, obviously just everything, just grew quicker.
I suppose as well, it was 11 years ago when we started, so we were probably on the cusp of the whole, and it wasn't planned, but the whole, what's it called, the experiential market.
Yeah.
This thing where people want to go, they don't just want to go to, as you said, a pub, have a pint. But everything now seems to be so focused on that. It's almost like it kind of actually needs to go back a little bit.
It's
can we
almost
not
overdone.
Yeah, it's like, can we not just go for a pint? No, we need to go for a pint and throw axes, and it has to be Disney themed, and there needs to be like 2 hours of prosecco. And but it does feel like that now. But people are so used to like, no, we need to do something as well. Like it has to be an event. But I think we were quite lucky because we were almost maybe at the forefront of that, not planned. Things that like Flight Club had just started then, and this kind of
like it wasn't like someone you sat right down in the room and went, we need to do something experiential. What can we do? It was just naturally
happened.
that.
Right.
But also people hadn't that kind of thing of going and doing a planned activity while drinking or partying or dancing. That kind of hadn't. It wasn't really much of a thing. So also,
there was like crazy golf things. Yeah, that's kind of it, really, wasn't it?
But in the early days for us, that was almost probably something that really had the hype of what you go and what you play bingo as well. What, and there's a rave, and so it was very. Whereas now, maybe if something like that comes out, you'd be like, oh, is that you've seen something like that before, or
like one of them.
And so, would you see yourself as trendsetters?
Unintentionally, I would say. Like I think,
I mean, I didn't create it, so I can say it more. But yeah, I'd say so. I think the event definitely.
Well, even just looking at the amount of events over the years that you can just see so much imitation and so much and you look at it and you go, all right.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, how many other bongos are there now? Or not bongos, but bingos.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's interesting. It's like
there is a lot. Yeah. We used to get quite not upset, but we were like, it would be frustrating when you kind of see like carbon copies. So like you'd see videos of the exact same prize that we just gave out that weekend, or the dancers in exactly the same dresses and the same format. I think now, like, it doesn't really bother us as much in terms of like, it's just going to happen. And we know that, we've had 10 years of it now. We're constantly trying to improve the quality and the standards and like what we can offer people. And we just, we're confident in the product that we've got, that if there are copycats, as it happens with everything,
any business,
like any business, exactly. Like we don't take it like as personally.
Early on, it was a killer for me. Like
and
and people always say, oh, imitation's the serious form of flattery or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I don't care. Look, they're just doing the same prizes as I have. It really, really got to me.
Yeah.
But over the years, as you said, Jess, it's like it's something that's going to happen. And I think the thing that I'm really confident in, that like these copycat ones will pop up, and you'll sort of look at it, and yeah, fair enough, people are giving it a go and want to
Yeah.
do something, make a bit of money or whatever. But you can tell, I always find, or people that have been to some of these shows, I think with Bongo's Bingo, the amount of actually work that goes behind the scenes, people haven't got a clue. The amount of care that goes in with all the team,
Yeah.
and how much, as you said, about it's going 11 years now. It's not like we're constantly develop. Like there's like a team in the office that are constantly developing shows, putting different music, putting different prizes, always working on it of how we can.
Constantly.
Because then it wouldn't. I think it wouldn't be fun then. They're always trying to think of, right, what else can we do here, or what kind of theme can we do, or what would be a good way to deliver a prize. But like, it's quite, even though the event,
so funny.
even though the event is like organized, it's chaos, it's mad, but it's actually really meticulously planned, organized chaos.
And to be across, strategically, to be across as many locations as you are in different countries, there's got to be a formula that you're using. You can't just be complete chaos at every single show.
Yeah.
And a formula takes time, energy, team. You've got like an office team of over 50 full-time people, plus all the contractors and everything else. So I guess when you think about competition, it's like, stand the test of time and let's see.
Yeah.
I think that's always the test of time with competition, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
Do they last?
Yeah.
And so what was it like? So having an office team of over 50, and obviously you've journeyed through this whole COVID time as well. What was that like for you?
COVID.
That was like,
that was tough.
Yeah, there's been maybe a couple of times in the journey over 11 years where you think, I think this might be the end here.
Yeah.
I think we might be, I think we might be fucked here. And COVID was probably the hardest, and it was hard for every.
I'm getting horrible flashbacks now.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was awful for everyone, wasn't it? I think like we pulled shows quite early. It wasn't when we had to do it. We pulled them before that.
Yeah, we sort of we called it a little bit before all
It
the
was
thing.
only just before, but yeah, we were kind of like, oh, our customers are very vocal, and obviously we had a load of shows, and we're just like, oh, I didn't feel comfortable telling people that the show's still on. But then I think just what happened afterwards, it was just like, I mean, everyone probably is the same, but it's the unexpectancy of like, how long will this be?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of when it dragged on, and we were just, working with all of our venues who obviously had to cancel everything else, like for them as well. Planning events, cancelling events, planning events, cancelling events, just so little information, and also trying to keep customers on side, which obviously there was another thing for that. But there definitely was moments of like, oh, are we gonna make this through this? We don't know. Like all of our, at one point it was basically like, we just need to do everything now to make sure that we've got something for us to come back to, like for the staff to come back to. We wanted the customers to come back as well, but yeah, it was touch and go.
Yeah, I suppose, but coming out of it though was like, it was one, such a relief, but also we found like our sales and the demand for tickets after COVID
Crazy.
And I think that a lot of that
Massive
was, I think a lot of that was to do with, people hadn't done anything for so long, and they wanted to kind of make sure that their first night out was like going to be the best night it could be. So
it was also the stream which you started in COVID.
Oh yeah, that was a bit. That was really good actually. I forgot about that.
That I feel like that kept you sane in particular.
Yeah, we started doing streaming. One of our technicians, Tom, he was like, "Why don't we just stream like content, like the quiz? We'll do a wee bit of bingo. We'll do this, with that." And so we did a couple of them. It was on the very, very first lockdown, and they got really good views, didn't they?
Like really good.
One of them I think was like over 1 million people live watching, and we were just doing it like in a street, like
it was strange.
Yeah, and then we ended up, me and the guys that were doing it, we ended up moving into a flat, because you had to be in a bubble or whatever. So we're like, oh, we won't be able to do these streams anymore. So luckily, my wife was very understanding. She went, just go and do it. She was like 7 months pregnant at the time. She's like, we all rented a flat and turned it into a studio. And lived there for like 3 weeks streaming like every night, and it was And
then the stream then got like a new audience as well. So you had afterwards, didn't you? People coming up saying, "I'd never been to a show before, but I loved the stream, and now I'm coming to the show."
But again, stuff like that, it was never planned to be like a marketing exercise. It was planned for a lot of the stuff we've done over the years. Let's just do something, and I bet you it'll be a laugh, and try it out. So that was that. But then actually after the repeat custom we got back from that, from people going, oh yeah, I'd never actually heard of you guys, but I watched you on a Saturday night.
Yeah, so it wasn't and that's where sat there researching what should we do. It just
not at all. Not at all. You guys literally just went in the room and had fun. You obviously structured it a bit, but you weren't doing it to target certain people. You were just doing it to have a laugh, weren't you?
Yeah.
And also take elements of bingo, but just make it into more of a streaming.
Also, tick a little box for us as well, the guys that were doing it, because obviously I think most of the performers at Bongo's Bingo probably wouldn't class themselves as performers. It's all just kind of, people that no one's professionally trained. We're all just people that having a good time, or they're comfortable on a microphone and just party boys.
So how do you? Yeah, I was gonna say how do you interview for that? What's the common thread of everyone who works in bingos?
I think everyone just loves a good time. I think that's what it is, isn't it? People enjoy working for the company, I think, because it is fun and because you get to see so many faces at the show all having fun. And I think people just love what we do. There's no kind of negative, dark side of what we do. It's all just really nice and light-hearted, I think.
Everyone's it's funny because the amount of people that are working on it and the amount of big personalities, the amount of such a wide, varied amount of people. But there is, it's everyone's got the kind of same vibe that they love what they're doing, because the thing probably I'm the most proud about is genuinely just how much customers love the show, how much people come genuinely and have a great time, and the feedback that you get, or and you can see that. So to be classed as a performer or whatever, to be able to go on stage to a crowd that's really buzzing and the atmosphere is great, it's dead humbling. It's feel dead lucky to, and everyone's that's on the show team and behind the scenes as well feel that as well.
When we do Christmas staff party, everyone's on the same vibe in terms of just happy to be there and happy to be doing it all together. But yeah, definitely the performers. I mean, going on stage.
But the recruitment, it's I could maybe be in a pub later on and just some guy could be doing karaoke and chat to him and go, hey, do you fancy a little run out in Stoke and see how you get on? It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
When we've done applications that there's
CVs
we're looking for the next host or we're looking for the next dancer, and it's never really worked.
Yeah.
It's always been quite organic, or someone's mate, brothers fancies
once
it
or twice. Yeah. But yeah, it's really all about I don't know who team is most up for it. Most of our dancers were literally picked from the pub, weren't they?
Yeah.
And then more recently, if someone comes on stage for a dance off and they're really good, we'll be can we take your number? Would you want to do this?
Yeah.
So we've got a few people from that, which is fun.
And I think it's great because I think that way you're looking at vibe, you're looking at energy, you're seeing how they are with people.
Yeah.
I think it's the same for my business, with staffing. It's just, you're when you're in a room with the people, you're one of us.
Yeah,
or,
100%.
Quite there, and you can't explain it other than it just is.
You can just tell. I think, again, with the style of the show, for people who've never been, if we had top-notch professional dancers, professional slick hosts, I feel from an audience perspective, you kind of feel like you have to then sit and watch.
Yeah.
Whereas for us, when we're on stage, you can tell how much we're just having a laugh, and they're not the best dancers, but they've got such good energy. Then from an audience perspective, then you feel I'm going to get involved. I'm going to get up for it now. Do you know what I mean? I think
we do have a couple of professional dancers.
Michael McGinn.
I was just going to shout out Michael McGinn.
Yeah, maybe we need to just get all professional dancers in there. Michael McGinn. I've got a bit of a crush on Michael McGinn. He's unbelievable.
But he's a professional dancer, and he tailors his dancing style to make it less slick. So because
he's
that's
just got
the vibe.
He
is just amazing though. But
I'll show you some clips of Michael McGinn after.
Brilliant.
I've got them all in my private folder. It's just called Michael McGinn.
I want to see this. And I know from working with venues on a staffing perspective, you have got such a good reputation. You're not bad spoken about. Everyone's they fucking make us a lot of money, right? How do you keep those relationships strong, and how do you keep making the venues really good money and really good bar spend?
I think that the relationships always right from the start been so important to us, because ultimately the way that we do our show, without the venues, the show itself wouldn't be ran, because we're not sending like an event manager to, coordinate the night. The venues do a lot of that for us. We're sending show teams that are doing a stage performance. So while there's loads of work that goes on behind the scenes from our side, like the venues really carry through the show for us. So having a good relationship with them, and although it's not like it's still a chaos night. It's not like always the easiest night to do, but it definitely is worth it. And like our venues love it. For many reasons, but yeah, it's putting a lot on them. So over the years, I mean, we've done all sorts really, but I think like ultimately it's it's talking, staying in touch, and but making sure that it works for them. We don't go in with like bullshit deals and kind of say it's this or nothing. It's really working out what's best for everyone. Like every single venue needs different things, and that's where we're trying to be as flexible as possible. So some venues give us like the top weekend dates, which works amazingly. The venues don't have that but really want us, so we'll do like in the day or during the week or whatever it might be. But yeah, we try and see them as much as possible. We've got an amazing ops team who all are dedicated in a certain number of venues, so it's instead of it kind of being like everyone's looking after 50, it's like dedicated account managers that look after them. But yeah, it's really, we look at it as a partnership. It's kind of, what do you want? What do we want? And let's make sure it does actually work for everyone. And that's, I think, why we've got, these long-term relationships, like 10 years plus, and counting with, so many people, because they put a lot in as venues, and we put in as much as we possibly can as well. So yeah, it works. I think there's just mutual respect that we're all just trying to do like as good an event as possible, and it takes the both of us, and there's appreciation there both sides.
And I think you tapped into Jonny. Jonny, you were talking about that experiential trend that really came big in the industry, but also the day party trend was another trend that kind of around the same time people started to jump on. And I think where you guys smashed it was you came in really early with that. So like for a venue, it's a no-brainer. You're bringing in that early trade, and then they can still do all their club nights and everything else at night if they want to.
Yeah.
Were you aware of that coming, or do you feel like you really pushed that forward?
Well, at the very start, I mean, like Josh, one of our owners, his kind of idea was that the timings would be kind to the fact that there can be a club night afterwards. So while they didn't start as like day parties or day events, they still finished at like 10:30, 11, which meant that people could get, club nights in afterwards. So that definitely was intentional. But then outside of that, I don't think there was a certain time where we kind of said, let's do day parties. I think it was more like, we want to be in this venue and they don't have this available. Like, how can we adapt to suit them, or, what's going to work best for them and therefore us as well? Then it meant we could also do 2 shows with one host in one day. So, it also made sense for us. So it was kind of just like evolved from lack of availability from both sides, because we only have a certain number of show teams. And yeah, it's, people love it. I think Hindu's is particularly like popular. Isn't it? And
who doesn't have a like 10 p.m. done drinking in bedtime? Like,
we do quite a lot in Liverpool of like 2 shows in a day, and but content our venue in Liverpool is there's no natural light coming in. So like if I'm doing an evening show and another host is doing a matinee, I'll just sort of be turning up to sound check just as the matinee's finishing or the day show, but watching people come out like
they come
when
out
it's
with,
like
the daylight,
it's been dead dark in there, glow sticks have been raving, and they're coming out at like 4:30 into the light. And it's so funny.
Like they're melting.
It's so funny watching people. They're just all over the show, like going, they can't work out what
is it. Yeah. What am I doing?
But yeah, the day ones are brilliant. I love a little.
Yeah, they are good fun.
Show.
And so with venues who work with you, how does it actually work from behind the scenes? Like, are you pushing out, trying to get more sites? Are they coming to you?
It's kind of a bit of both. I think like at the start, it was probably more of a push than it is now. Like a lot of people are interested, so approach us. But yeah, I'd say it's probably, just as much us going to get a venue as it is people coming to us. We're not like super particular on venues, but there are like, when we're looking at a new location, we'll obviously do our own venue research and approach them, because particular venues are, better than others for the actual show itself. But again, we're quite adaptable. So Yeah, it just depends really. And then we just get a conversation going. It is easier now because a lot of people have like heard of us or know other people that maybe have us in their venues. So it's much easier to kind of get the conversation going. But I know that in the early days it was kind of like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, how does
a lot
this
of
work?
explaining.
Yeah, and like, we had obviously Camp and Furnace shows and the bar spend there kind of behind us, but the kind of thing of like, well, it might work in Liverpool, but it won't work here, But once that like barrier was like broken through, people obviously now know what we do and kind of what the concept is, so it is much easier.
And have there been any events that have completely flopped?
First birthday.
Oh, don't. Yeah, we did a first birthday show in Liverpool. Bit off way too much, way more than we could chew. We were still really a small team,
tiny team. There was like 4 of us.
Oh, it's it was an awful show.
Yeah, it was.
We booked. Oh, there's so much stuff went wrong. We booked Tiny Tempa, and then he a week before said he couldn't do it or he had a record contract. Then he
said he was ill, didn't he?
No, he said I think he had to. I can't remember what he said. I'm not going to throw shit on Tiny Tempa, but yeah, you know what.
He couldn't do it.
No, he couldn't do it. He said he had a commitment, and then he's posting a picture of him like walking a tiger in Dubai. I was like, that doesn't look like a record commitment. And then we booked
you never know.
a few other acts that didn't turn up, and the sound wasn't great. But
it was in like a warehouse that just hadn't been used for events, and
we tried to do the bar ourselves and all that stuff. But it's like it's already
it was one of them. Yeah,
big,
like we were young as a company and young as people as well. I think it was just let's give it a go. Oh, and it was on. It was the same day as the Aintree races.
Oh, it was the same day as the Grand National, so people were turning up after the Grand National, all dressed up in suits.
But everyone came and everyone was already smashed. So it was just it was something to look back on.
But a massive learning curve.
Yeah.
A massive learning curve.
But aside from that, I don't think there's really been any other nightmares. Like
no,
I think we probably learned that lesson quite early.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Where have you lost the most money?
You reckon?
I don't know, to be honest. What, in terms of like a venue or an event?
Just in general, doing business.
I think that like over the years, like it's not losing money, but I think where, especially compared to other bingos, like we spend a lot on prizes.
Yeah.
Giving people these like if you see some of the prize lists, like they actually are mad. And the cash that gets given away too. So it's not necessarily like losing money because the customers love it, but like we've always kind of gone a bit overboard with it. And I think that's like one of the like, not the key reasons, but definitely a reason that contributes to the success and people loving the shows. But someone else might look at it and go, I can't believe you give that much away. Like, are you joking?
Yeah. I think for when like, I suppose if you add it up, what we're giving away at shows, and you think, well, like, I know we've had conversations where you've been like, maybe we just like take one prize out, and then you show me like what it would save over the year, and I'm like, you can't get rid of that. You can't get rid of the fluffy unicorn.
I'd never get rid of the unicorn, but yeah, it's literally like, because obviously we do a lot of shows, so it's like, even if you just shaved off that tiny bit, like, look what this can bring. But yeah, it's all for the show and it's all for the customers. But it is quite mental seeing it down on paper.
And it's a big operation that you guys have, having 50 staff. Like, that's bold. And obviously you've got a business that's sustaining that. But is there a level of pressure each year where you're like, oh gosh, we've got to keep on?
Yeah, I think so. I don't necessarily think like the pressure gets us down. Well, personally, like, we're not sat there going, oh God, what are we going to do? Because we do have confidence in the product. I think it's more like pressure that pushes us to kind of go, right, what's next? And kind of, what do we want to do in the next like year, 5 years or whatever? Like, where do we want to be? I think it's just like, it puts pressure on them in a positive way, like the momentum of like where we're going, rather than kind of getting us down and being like, oh,
yeah,
that's how we're going to keep going.
Such credit to Jess. Like, she is really like the driving force with a lot of stuff. And like, well, no, we are, but like, Jess will be like, right, let's work on our 5-year plan today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing this afternoon.
Yeah.
But like, Jess is so driven, and because she's been there right from the start, pretty much cares about it, and like we're always looking. You're just dead excited about stuff. Like we're starting doing shows in Scandinavia, which next month, is it?
Yes.
And so how did this come about? Scandinavia's random.
Scandinavia is where it's at.
Yeah, that is where it's at.
Copenhagen,
Okay.
Yeah.
Norway, Oslo,
I'm going to have to go and check
Helsinki,
this out.
Helsinki, wherever the hell that is.
love
We're
this.
going.
And again, it's expensive, isn't it, there? So drink prices and
but
culture.
They're big drinkers too.
Yeah.
Like especially in Denmark. But we basically got approached by a guy just kind of wanting to like basically work with us and for us to do shows there. So then we were kind of going back and forth of like, how do we kind of do this? Because to be fair on him, it was really great of him that he could have just done his own, and he kind of said like, I want to do it with you guys. So it kind of birthed then like, well, how do we want to do this? And we'd already been thinking about like expanding into new territories and doing it in a different way than we'd done it previously. So that's kind of where we came up with like the licensing model and how that would work. We've always been quite protective of the brand, and we definitely still are, but we understand that like, it doesn't mean that no one else can do it. It's just that like, it's guidance and it's whatever else. So this is our first licensing like partnership, which is exciting. And they're going to be taking our brand over to Scandinavia. We're going to be going over and doing some shows in English, kind of like passing the baton. So we train up their team, and they've done amazing work, like getting the venues, etc., and launching their business really. And then we just work with them to make sure it's in line with what Bongo's is. But then there's also loads of flexibility because, it needs to be like localized. Obviously the language will be different. The prizes will be more relatable to, the local audience, wherever that is. And yeah, so it's definitely new, but it's really exciting.
And so how many locations is it? Scandinavia.
So it's Norway, Finland, Sweden and Denmark.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So we're launching like all at the same time, which is very exciting. And then the plan is that we'll just kind of take that model and keep going.
I might move to Norway.
There you go.
Why Norway?
Northern Lights and stuff like that, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been once. It's super dark.
Is it?
Not kind of.
Yeah.
It's like one of those places where you only get a couple of hours of sunlight in the winter.
Like a slither.
Oh, I don't know
Yeah.
them.
You just
You just end up drinking a lot and having a lot of sex.
You've
really.
put me off.
Yeah.
You've put me off Norway right away. What did you say? Drinking a lot of sex?
Well, what do you do if it's dark? Like,
I
you
don't
drink a
know,
lot of
yeah,
sex.
A bit spicy there.
This is Provocateurs.
Fair enough.
So with this licensing model, talk to me a little bit about this. How did you form this? Because obviously I'm so intrigued that it sounds like you've both grown through hospitality and your journey's kind of evolved and you've gone with the flow somewhat. It's not that you've gone and doing business degrees and getting this kind of knowledge before setting out.
Yeah.
How have you learned how to even do a licensing type model?
Well,
I think
your journey's been business, hasn't it?
It hasn't though. I mean, I did events management at uni, but I think it's just like everything we wanted to do, we just kind of learn it
As you went and as you needed it.
Yeah, like we're definitely not experts in licensing, but you can figure it out.
Yeah.
I think like, it was just working out. I mean, we had all the materials anyway. Our teams like are growing all the time, so there's manuals and training manuals and all sorts for kind of all departments anyway. So it was essentially putting it together and just figuring out what were our kind of like definite, we don't want to do this, or like, this is how we do it, this is where we're flexible, etc. And then a lot of help from lawyers basically. But yeah, I think like that's really it. Anything that we've wanted to do, we've just figured it out, and applied a lot of common sense and then kind of polished it with a bit of, knowledge and assistance.
Yeah.
Really.
And that is a lot of this industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Would you say that's how you formed? How did you start? Like what?
That-
Like as in like were you in like a bartender at the beginning, or have you been in the industry for?
No, I was just like started working in bars and restaurants, and then ended up being like supervisors and managers and
Follow fun.
Yeah, just followed the fun. But again, like you just said, we just everything. You kind of just we've just worked it out or worked through it. Early days when we had to get the gambling license for, a game.
Oh,
you have to gambling license.
Yeah, so I had to like learn the Gambling Act 2005, which
You love the Gambling Act 2005. Got it tattooed on your arm.
Yeah, we had to figure it all out.
So
what to do, how to get it, and
I think one thing that probably would set us apart from a lot of the kind of we are a registered bingo company, a gambling
Right.
so
Yeah,
very
we hold a license which lets us do kind of.
so
Oh,
we
wow.
can give away whatever kind of prizes we want, like cash prizes and things like that, where
Yeah.
other events can. But early on, we didn't know we needed that.
Yeah, of
So
course.
I was giving away
No.
just giving away cash and giving away double enders and all these kind of mad prizes, and then the scary men in the suits came up and went, "Can we see your gambling license?" And I was like, "Gambling? We're just playing bingo for Cocoa Pops. What's going on?" And then next minute, Jess had to go into a full study mode, didn't it? And we had to apply for it, and we got it. And
yeah, it took us about a year, but yeah, that's the thing. Like, because a lot of our operations now, finances, the way we choose venues, there's so many different things. Like, even our venues have to do training to work with us, like their bar staff even. So every like side of our operation has like the license kind of dictates like what we do in that area. So like marketing, for example, we can't work with anyone that's got majority children as their biggest audience. So we have to check all those things and just make sure that we're operating in the best way possible. But obviously that's not like the glamorous side of things. So but it's very essential.
And it's only the things that you really think about when you're in action and when it actually comes about, isn't it? You can pre-think all of the plans, but until you're doing it, these things.
Well, you just wouldn't think. I think like it's maybe more known now, but like at the start, like £2 on the door for whatever prizes were at the time. You just don't think this is. If you're in the room, I mean, if you're in the room now, you don't feel like it's gambling.
No.
So yeah, it was a bit of a big shock, that wasn't it?
Yeah.
And so Scandinavia is on the cards for next month. What else is happening behind the scenes?
So we've always been in Dubai, but this year we're back more and more. So we've got like 12 shows planned this year.
Amazing.
Which is very exciting. And yeah, we're on the hunt for more licensees, speaking to a few people. So we're hoping that by the end of the year, we will have, more locations that we'll be in and, spreading wider.
And is that globally you're looking at?
Yes, globally, yeah. And then in the UK, which is obviously our operation that we control, we're looking more at the Southwest, which is exciting. We've got 4 new venues that we are signing this week. That's very fun. And yeah, we're just like developing the student events, looking at more themed stuff, just always kind of like seeing what opportunities there are and how we can just like have fun with it as well, isn't it? And, just having fun as a brand. I think that's like when we've been had our most successful times is when we've just kind of decided to do fun things.
Definitely.
And so you're obviously not a doom and gloom on the UK market. You think there's still growth and potential there?
I mean, personally, I think so. I think like our event is still really successful. And, where we might see like slight declines in certain locations, like, we're seeing absolute sales through the roof in others.
Yeah.
So I think it is just for us, we're lucky in the fact that it does appeal to, a lot of people. We've got the benefits that people don't have to stay out till 4 a.m. to come to our event or, whatever that might be. So we're very lucky in that sense, but that's like, a testament to the product itself.
I think as well, one thing that we've always done from the start is try and keep our tickets relatively cheap.
Yeah.
For like, not like blowing our own trumpet is what we mean, but like, for what you value for money as an event, our tickets are still 25 quid.
Yeah.
But, you go and see a concert in Wembley and you've lost $4,000 or whatever.
Yeah, definitely. And I think like, because we do have really long-standing relationships with venues, like outside of the show itself, they invest time to promote our show, just as we obviously promote the show too. So we can just get a lot more out of the relationship because it's been so long. So I think that just people know like that's a Bongo's bingo venue or that's the day. We try and keep things consistent as much as possible. So, it might be Thursday night in one place is bingo night, Saturday night is bingo night in another place. But in that location it's as consistent as possible. But yeah, I mean, obviously we definitely see like a bit of a decline, but it's not one that's worrying us right now. And I think that's just because of what the product is.
Yeah.
And who it appeals to.
And what about the student market? So you started off mainly with students.
Yeah.
How have you, and you've brought these nights back at Content, haven't you? And the Wednesday nights, they're coming back and obviously loads of the sites are there. How have you seen the student market sort of interact with going out and drinking?
It's a tricky one.
I suppose at one point there was kind of the narrative, oh, students don't go out anymore. That everyone's really caring about their well-being and their fitness. But I think it is a bit of a mix. I think there's
It is
still
a
a
mix,
real,
for sure.
there's still a real. I think COVID might have played into that a little bit.
Yeah.
I think for teenagers that kind of missed that going out and when they were hitting like freshers and stuff.
But then I think like now though with the times, I think like the students that are in like just starting now, I think are coming out of that.
I agree. Yeah.
Because like I think it probably was COVID that just impacted a lot. Like our fresher shows do really, really well. Consistency like throughout the year with student shows is not on the same level as our other flagship shows, but it's still worth it, and it's still like people are still coming. It's just not like mad crazy sellouts like consistently all through the year. You'll just get like peaks and things, but yeah, it is still worth it. And I do think that this kind of next wave of students coming through, I mean, seem to be
Drinking
more
again.
up for it, and more drinking. Yeah,
I think we've definitely seen in our business the last 2 freshers was much stronger than the ones before, and I think it's exactly like you said. The age of that COVID kid has just kind of matured
because they weren't like drinking in the park, were they? They were locked inside.
No, and maybe it's like wellness exists alongside that. Like I know everyone's doing this parallel life, like do the high rocks and then get wasted. Yeah, it's big in Dubai, like that kind of. Yeah, we do a tequila
Very
after the
extremes,
marathon, and I mean that was the weekend.
High rocks is not for me.
I've been doing it.
Have you?
Yeah, I've jumped on it.
It's not really intense.
It is very intense. Yeah, I'm doing my second one in March. I got dragged in by my sister.
Not big queue. I've heard there's big queues.
Yeah, that was the London one. Everyone
big queues? Big queues to throw a ball at a wall or something.
Yeah, like everyone went ape shit around the wall balls. Like you had to queue, and they were like, "You ruined my time." And
because it's all about time.
It's all about time, but there was queues oversold or something. I don't know.
No,
but it's like any business that kind of blows up. I'm sure you guys have had this.
Like
when you blow up, more chaos happens, more problems happen, more complaints are going to happen.
Well, when we first went to selling tickets online, because we were having the issue of knocking people back every night, and it wasn't nice to do, basically, like. But the first night we were like, right, we're going to just go and do online tickets. We got it all set up, and the first ticket launch, like I can't even remember what the traffic was for the amount of tickets that we had on sale, and they went in like a second. But it was something ridiculous.
We'd crash sites like all the time.
Really?
Like, we'd be sat there in the office like it's time, and then it'd be like, oh.
But the chaos from that people saying. These tickets never even existed. How did you sell out in a second? I was getting messages going, "You're just giving the tickets to your friends." I'm like, no. It was like
they'd go after Johnny and they'd email customer service like, "Hi Johnny, I know what you've done." It's so funny.
You've kept the tickets for yourself.
As if like there'd be any point in doing that. But they did just go so fast, and then the site would crash, and then people get upset and angry, which totally understand. But that was a product of it being so.
Yeah,
and then you get the criticism and the pushback. Because it seems like I can see you really care. Like you really care about the brand. How have you dealt with the emotions of like you've actually set this up as a founder, you've put your heart and soul and creative direction into it, and then you get all this negative things that come up?
I think like I would like to think I'm thick-skinned, but like I'm not. So I do struggle with it, and luckily there hasn't been that many occasions, like the first birthday where that like we said was a nightmare. I'll be the one that's getting the messages going, that shit, trying to you had us off there and that it does get me down, like, but luckily,
but I think it's because you care. Do you know what I mean?
I do care.
You want it to be good. Like you'll get nervous before like a big event or
every show.
You still get nervous
every show.
Even 11 years in.
11 years in.
It's basically sick before every show.
Really?
Yeah, it's horrible. Like,
it's absolutely vile.
Well, I can't help it.
And why? Like, even when you know that not much goes wrong, what is it for you that happens?
The couple of hours before a show, I've always, even when I did pub quizzes and I don't know if it's like standing up in front of people. I don't even know what it is, but I just get nervous. I'm usually 15 minutes before going on stage. I'm in the toilet. I'm being sick.
Wow.
And even if you tell, even like in my head, I'm going, once you go on stage, you're going to be absolutely fine. which I am every time. As soon as I walk on stage, I'm like, yeah, fine, and get on with the show. But just that
It's
time
like
before,
clockwork as well, isn't it?
it's just like I just
do
get so.
people know this about you?
No,
Or is this like,
no,
can they feel it?
no,
Are they like,
no, I
"No"?
don't. Like in the green room before,
If you've been there before a show, you can hear it.
you
Yeah.
can see me like pacing about. But
You're just like,
luckily we try and we always have like a bit of a distraction anyway before the shows. Like in the green room, we play this beanbag game where you throw beanbags into, like, it's called cornhole. We do that for like 2 hours before a show. You try and take your mind off it.
Yeah.
So even though it is like, and I know a lot of the other hosts are similar, and a lot of the other dancers, but it's what you just got to get on. Once you're on, it's fine. But it's funny.
And like just said, it shows you care. It's
Yeah.
like it's actually a really great thing, isn't it?
I genuinely think if it didn't feel like that, I probably then wouldn't be arsed about it anymore. But I like.
You said
Sounds,
that before, like the
it
last
does
time
sound
that you
cheesy,
get
but I do
nervous,
care. I want the show to be good. I want everyone to have a good time. I want to have a good time.
Yeah, I love
Like-
that. Has anything super wild and wacky happened at a show where you're like, oh my God, like, has someone given birth?
Like, no one's giving birth, but like
There's been a few things.
there's a few, like we had this like streaker once
Yeah,
that
thought you-
like 3M. Basically, I think I made a joke about the Wirral. I think there was a big group in from the Wirral across the water, and I said something like, "Oh, these are all boring bastards from the Wirral," and like 10 minutes later, someone from that group just completely stripped naked and ran down one of the tables from the front table, jumped onto the stage, like just like this 40-year-old man naked.
Magic Mike.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't
I
Magic
would
Mike.
not
Magic Shite, probably.
Oh, right. Got
But he
you.
was just like,
Magic Mike.
he was like, you said the Wirral's shit. We're not crazy from the Wirral. I was like, okay, he's getting like taken out by security.
I think like seeing people's reactions to winning prizes is sometimes really nice. Like, you know, I've been there where like people have won like a big cash prize and like they're pregnant and they're kind of like, oh, now I can buy this or whatever it might be. Or like, you know, we've had someone like wet themselves on stage when they got a cruise. So like, you know, things like that.
Brilliant.
Reactions to stuff is really funny.
Yeah.
I think especially when it's like a dance off because they don't know that they've won.
we've had some mad dance offs and things like that. But yeah.
Have you had any run-ins with licensing? Because obviously people must drink loads in these environments. Do they like you? Do they not?
I mean, to be honest, all of our focus with licensing has all been like, it's all been gambling related. And generally, no, like, we don't, like, our crowd is like, although they drink a lot, we really don't have that much trouble at the shows. And I think, like, you know, we've not got like a druggy crowd.
No, I think
It's alcohol and like it's
early, isn't it? I suppose.
Yeah.
I think the event pleases itself as well. Like all our security teams, certainly in Liverpool anyway, everything's about communication, and like, you know, it is very, very rare that there might be a kickoff or you know, a bit of a fight or something, but that's so rare. But almost when it's kind of, you can feel maybe something's gonna happen. The event like pleases itself. It just takes one of the hosts to go, hold on, like, is there a kickoff over there? Bingo's all about love, and you know why.
Yeah.
And when you've got a crowd of 900 people sort of going like boo, then people just go, oh, okay, sign.
Yeah, because it's like hosted the entire time. Like there is that flexibility to kind of go, right, I can change the room's vibe quite easily. But yeah, no, not really. To be honest, it's always been gambling, which now it's all fine. So kind of smooth sailing in that sense.
That's good. I think a lot of promoters face that with licensing, you know, as their crowd right, it's the music right.
Yeah.
That's such a great point with hosting events and having that whole kind of community feel. It does itself.
Like obviously the host can't control the room, but you know, it goes a long way to kind of encourage people to be like just enjoy.
You're going. I think even just seeing the mix in the crowd, and that, you know what I mean. It's not all one type, one type. So it's such a, like, I don't know. It's just a fun event, isn't it? So like, it's very rare.
Yeah, that comes into it as well. Like, the mix of ages. Yeah. And things like that.
Well, I saw that video on your Instagram with the 90-year-old women content, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was that? 98.
Yeah. And Gandhi, MBE, one of our regulars for about 8 years ago.
Damo's like,
Damo from PR. Damo loves Anne Gandhi.
I love, and so she's a regular.
They went to school together. I think they're in the same age.
Yeah, she's been coming for years now.
Yeah, she just loves it. She comes with her. That was one of, I think that's why Damo from PR loved it, because he loves a good story, and she came with her daughter, her granddaughter, and her great granddaughter. So there was 4 generations at one point playing bingo. And Damo PR's like, hey, That's a good story, isn't it?
That's fantastic. Well, the thing is, I've seen that with like other promoters that, so like I interviewed the Clockwork Orange guys and the Day Thief guys, and they've said that that generational thing has become really big in the day party scene.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's similar. You know, I think it's just because a lot of it is timings, but a lot of it is just like, you know, what they come. It's like, you'll enjoy that. And they actually would. So it just makes sense.
Something to do together.
Yeah.
And so we talk about planning. You're like, Jess is the 5-year planner.
Mm-hmm.
What have you guys got in the horizon? Are you seeing this as a brand that's going to be going for decades and decades?
Do you know what? I think when we first started, when we were probably maybe a year or two in, you know, different people that I knew that they were in business were sort of going like, you know, make hay while the sun shines here. You know, this is, you know.
I mean, I'll be honest, I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
I was like, bingo, that's going to be a fad.
Bit of a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
People enjoy it. But I think now, especially the focus on actually bingo, the fact that it is a bingo event, the fact that, you know, at the start, the relationships with your meccas, your galas, kind of like that, would be like, when they seen us going, who are these guys like kind of ruining the name of bingo? But I think that they're actually seeing a lot of trade, a lot of new, younger generation coming and playing traditional bingo. I think now, like, we're quite respected in the bingo community.
Yeah, I think so.
And I feel that it is kind of, in some way or another, it's always going to be part of the ether of bingo. Right. It's just, you know, now when people say they want to go out and play a game of bingo, it's kind of the mindset of, well, are we going to go traditional or are we going to go bongos?
Yeah.
And I think that's now just like interwoven together. So
I think so. Like, it's in its own lane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll have, you know, traditional bingo players that might, oh no, let's go to bong, like, we'll not go to Mecca, we'll go to bongos tonight. So
yeah, definitely.
I think it's
like a new style of, you know, just a.
Yeah, it's just like a new sort of form of bingo, but and also just the amount of like work and like the way we're always changing up, always looking at what kind of stuff we can do. I do genuinely think like it could be 5, 10, 20, 30. It could just be something that continues on.
Yeah,
definitely
like,
believe it. Well, you look at the way it's grown now, so
yeah.
And you're all a young team, so like you've got years left in you of working, and you know,
yeah, definitely
on that dance floor when you're 70.
Yeah, I think like not that we didn't have like a future vision before, but probably like before COVID, we were like, oh, we're still going, like it's growing, it's going better. And not that we were like surprised, but we definitely were like, oh my God, this is, you know, great, it's nice to be like part of. Whereas I think now it's like, you know, and like since COVID, it's like investing in the future, so it's guaranteeing it. So that's obviously where, you know, expansion and you know, whether it's like new products or whatever it might be, it's like, well, how do we, you know, we've got so many staff here that we love working with, we want to be here, like we want to make sure that they are still here and that we're still having fun, and it doesn't seem like there's any like slowing down, so I don't see why we wouldn't like still continue to be here. I think it's just us evolving and growing and making sure that we're like adapting to whatever changes like come next.
What would make you quit?
Ooh,
good question.
I think, well,
no, go ahead.
I think the only thing that would probably make me quit is like, I don't know, like say you left and someone that didn't care about it kind of came in or something like that. I don't know, like I think as long as the passion and the kind of the spirit of bongos is still there, like I don't know, I feel like I'll always be here.
I don't, like, I think I just care about it too much. I don't think, like, I think if someone even, you know, came in and said, oh, buy the company off you for XYZ, like, no, I do love it, and it sounds so cheesy, but it is like, for me anyway, it is like a family. Like, it's, you know, working with my mates, having a good laugh, you know, feel really, really, really lucky, to be fair. So I don't think I would quit.
No, like I said, the only thing would be is like a, you know, major change in like
in the words of Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not fucking leaving. Why are you trying to make me quit?
Have you had to fire anyone?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What's been like the core, like the common reason and to let someone go?
I don't
What are
know.
you thinking?
I was thinking probably staff party.
I know, I was thinking the same.
Someone always takes it too far in the staff party, don't
Right.
they? You'll always get one.
Yeah.
So,
Someone said the other day, I can't remember who it was like a battlefield. Was this you? So like it's like staff parties like going and to like a battlefield.
over the trenches.
Because there's always someone that gets taken out at our staff parties. But this year,
staff party was
staff
Our
party.
staff
No one
party.
got fired.
No one got fired. Everyone behaved.
I think it might be because we had HR there live.
HR was there.
Yeah.
DIs.
Yeah, she was an
Yeah.
HR nightmare to be fair, wasn't she?
Because it's funny, isn't it? Because I think when people hear the concept of having like a family in business, they think it's all nice and everyone's like getting on all the time, and
Yeah.
you know, you don't have to fire people or you love everyone. What's the
Yeah.
actual reality of working with people?
I think though we are like, I know you're saying about fire. I could probably count on. You know,
it's
you,
very
you look over
yeah.
11 years with the amount of staff that have been through. Like our
Yeah,
staff retention is very like no one really leaves, do they?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's like literally a handful over like 10 years. But yeah, I think it's just all about respect, really. Like, you know, obviously everyone has disagreements or like opinions that might differ from someone else's. But I think, you know, everyone's is usually quite valid, and it's just about like working out the best way forward. But that's more when it comes to like, you know, what event should we do, or how should we do this, or, you know, different people are just passionate. So there's always ideas, and there is big personalities, and everyone's got an opinion. So they're kind of the only things really. But like, yeah, I wouldn't say that it's the odd few that have had to get fired, and they're for reasons that like are so different from each other. You know what I mean? But yeah, most of them happened at the staff party.
And what happens at these staff parties?
It was a 24-hour bar.
It's 20. You get a 24-hour free bar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was probably
That's
our
a
fault,
stupid
really.
idea, isn't it?
Ride or die.
It got to the point where people didn't want to go to the staff party.
Because it'd be
You
like,
know-
how many days
intense.
of a hangover have you got?
Correct,
Face?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
or
it's
how
kind of-
much trouble am I going to get when I get home 4 days later?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we really try and throw the best staff parties as well. So we'll have like different acts, and
Yeah.
you know, we've had like the streets perform,
Oh,
or
wow.
like
Bez was a highlight for
Bez
me.
was
That
good,
was good
and
fun.
you know, Craig Charles. So we put all this effort into it,
Yeah.
and try and make it the best Christmas party it can be. And then people are like, I don't want to go. I'm like, yeah, but we've got such and such playing. We've got this. We've got you know.
Yeah, we did it slightly different this year, a little bit calmer. It only went on till 4 a.m. this year.
Yeah,
Love
it was
that.
good.
So,
And I guess people in our industry, I don't know if you've experienced this, they're experienced people. It's how you keep them like together. You've got to have the culture. You've got to have that. You know, like
yeah.
some industries, it's all like, where's my pay rise, or where's this? Or I've found over the years, I get less of that if there's more togetherness and like you've created fun environments.
Definitely. I mean, like, you're obviously great at, you know, creating that culture within the business, I think. And like, the office is such a, I think everyone, like, you know, everyone does love going to the office. Like, we've got a really nice vibe when you go in there. There's like, everyone's playing games together, chatting to each other, like, obviously working. But you know what I mean? It's just like, it's a nice vibe. Like, I look forward to going to the office.
I think you can. I think when it comes to like, obviously with staff and respecting treating staff well, you know, the intentions are always the right way. It's not, you know, like, I'm sure there's some companies that do go, hey, look, we'll give you a ping pong table and you know, some pizzas on a Friday. It's kind of, whereas I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think people are genuinely friends with each other as well, like hanging out outside of work, which is not like an essential thing or anything like that. But, you know, a lot of those relationships have been formed in work. A lot of people spend lots of time together. I don't know. I can't really like put my finger on exactly like what the
I think
thing
you,
is that
you
it
said
was.
something
But
earlier as well about people kind of bringing other people in to your workplace.
yeah,
You know, like they've got a sister or a friend or a
Yeah.
recommendation. Is that
Yeah.
something you've seen as well?
I think definitely with the dancers. I think less so with the office team. And like someone said the other day, Ben from accounts was like, I wouldn't recommend this to my friends or family because I don't want them to. I don't want to work here. This is my thing.
Yeah.
So I think there's a bit of that, but like, yeah, with dancers, like there's a couple of people that are like brothers and stuff.
I think on the show side of it, you know,
Yeah.
like everyone is on the same level. Like the amount of care that goes in on the show team, the amount of work, like the WhatsApp groups that are going on constantly about, and it like from the outside looking in, it might be something so trivial to like, what do you reckon I should play when I give this coffee machine away? And then it's like all these messages going, why don't you try and do this? Why don't you do that? but everyone really, really like
Cares,
really gives a
yeah,
shit.
wow.
So then you've almost got, even though it's so many big personalities and so many different, everyone's on the same level with, they've got one thing in common and they give a shit about what they're doing. And I think the people in the office as well, everyone gives a shit about like the brand, the event, and customers. So I think that's one really important thing. Like, you know, if you're working somewhere where no one really cares, then like no one's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you know? I don't know
I
how
think
to
that's
describe it.
Yeah.
Like,
it's hard without sounding like braggy as well. Like, we've got the best culture, but like it, you know, it's not always been something that's like intentionally like we need to make sure we have the best culture by doing, like you're saying, like the pizza on a Friday or whatever. It's kind of like when there wasn't 50 people in the office, like it was just like, felt like just mates going around like in the car to venue and just having like really fun times. And yeah, I think it's just relationships, and then those relationships turn into like more people joining, and then other relationships forming. And I don't know. I mean, obviously, you work in the same industry. I think you just build better, not better, but I think you build like sometimes more intense relationships, like working in events or working in hospitality, because kind of, you know, I think just the environment, like.
And I think our industry is very interconnected. So like, I know in my office team, everyone can do different roles if needed. It's quite like, oh, I'll help you with that because I was doing that 2 years ago, or whatever it might be. And it's kind of how hospitality is built. Like, we are quite flexible people, often quite adaptable.
Yeah.
Jumping in at different times. You've got to be, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely.
What would you say if someone was thinking about getting into hospitality and events? Like, how should they start?
I mean, what I did basically was I was doing events at uni. I don't necessarily think you need to do a uni course, to be honest. But wax that Jonny mentioned earlier, that Josh did, I'd basically just go to them as a student and then asked around, was like, I want to work for this, and you know, spoke to a friend that was selling tickets. She got me like an interview and just kind of said, I want to work for you. What can I do for you? I was working on like, you know, not much money a month, but it was because like it wasn't a job that he was putting out money like he wasn't advertising for. I was just kind of like, I'll do anything. So I think it's just as soon as if there's something you like, if there's someone you want to work for, I think just contacting them and just saying what it is that you want to do, how you want to help, and be willing to do work that's maybe not exactly what you want to do, or maybe you do multiple things for multiple people. It just depends how, you know, what angle you want to go in. Like, I've got someone on the ops team at the moment, and she got her job with us by emailing me about 5 times, and I wasn't even hiring.
Right.
But then on the 5th time that she emailed me, I was like, actually, I am now. And she was the first person that, you know, showed that amount of like want for the role. So yeah.
That's actually how one of my ops managers got a job as well. She just kept on
it does
emailing
work.
away, and just at the right time I was like, actually, yeah.
I'm not saying that everyone just pester everyone, but
but it's great because it comes
spam people.
Yeah,
it's the forefront of your mind, isn't it? And it shows like
it's got to be like, you've got to have,
you want it.
You know, really, you've got to have practical, or you've got to have experience, or kind of like hobbies or commitments that like match up. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think, you know, there's so much you can do in your own time to kind of put yourself in a better position. Depends what kind of events you're looking at doing, I think. But yeah, a lot of it's about personality, I'd say, depending on where you want to be. Like, you've got common sense and you really want it, and you're doing your own work, then, you know, anyone can do it if you've just got the right mindset, I think.
Yeah. And there's a narrative, isn't there, around women in this industry, and that it's harder for us, and it's a male-dominated industry. Do you agree with that?
I mean, personally, my experience, I've always been very supported by like Josh and Jonny, and so, you know, when I joined Bongos, or when I was doing wax, even I was 18, 19, so I've not been in a different like my job in events previously was with Josh, who obviously is my boss now still. So from an employer point of view, no, I've not had that experience based on obviously these guys. But I think, when it comes to, you know, being in the room and definitely initially kind of being respected as a voice that can make calls, you know, and be that person. I don't feel like that now, for the most part. But I remember feeling like that. I think age and, you know, gender probably coming into it when I was younger. But yeah, I feel less like that now, but that's probably because of my like position within the business and kind of like where I'm at and obviously, you know, what I'm doing now. But yeah, it's definitely a thing, 100%. But my personal experience was more positive because of these guys.
Yeah. And so for you as a guy, how do you interact with that narrative? Are you like, it's true, it's fair?
To be fair, I don't really know how to describe it. Because I'm not really involved necessarily in. I don't really class myself as like in the industry. You know what I mean? I kind of am in the background, just doing stuff on stage and things like that. I've never actually really experienced it.
And you never think when you're hiring or you think about building a team, it's got to have a guy, I've got to have a girl,
No, I've never felt like that.
Well, that's the thing, is all of our stage teams are obviously, the dancers are all male, but with all the hiring internally, you know, we go for the best people.
Yeah.
And I would hate to be hired because I was female. I'd want to be hired because I was the best.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 100%. And I feel like if you've got an incredible person in front of you, you know, why would you miss out on that opportunity because of, I don't know, you know, ticking a quota of getting more females on? It just, for me, it doesn't personally make sense. I think there's brilliant females and there's brilliant, you know, males that work in the same industry. So it's really just who's
right for the job.
Who's right for the job?
And I think once you also got a culture, like I know for us, we joke around in the office, we can't keep a guy. Every one of my 20 staff is
really?
female. Yeah.
Really?
We any time I've had a guy, the only one who lasted was someone who like I was with for 3 years, and I think he just had to do it because he was like with me and he was like, well, I'm here now. Do you know what I mean?
So you got an all-female team?
All-female team.
Oh, I love that.
And it's just how it's happened. It wasn't intentional, but now if we interview a guy, it's so hard. Because how culturally are they going to fit in with 20 women? You've got to be an exceptional man to be all right with that and stay.
Yeah.
So
no, it's true. Yeah, that's like the flip side of it.
It kind of just happened, and then we're like, well, we're here, and now it's not that. I mean, we just don't get many guys through the door either that apply to even work with us. So
and we do have, you know, a lot of our women are in high positions. Like our, you know, head of marketing is a female, head of logistics is a female. You know, and then we've got, you know, loads of other females like throughout the office and in our venue, you know, technicians as well. You know, got amazing females. It's just not something that sit down and kind of go, right, we've got a new role, let's make sure it's female. That's not really what we do.
Do you see yourself as a role model now in the industry?
Me? I'd say no. I think kind of like you know, when kind of like we just do bingo. We're just doing Bongo's bingo, and like, you know, we speak to so many venues. But in terms of like other people, other events outside, there's not that much interaction because we're in a very different space as Bongo's bingo. You know, we're not really classed as anything in terms of like, you know, we're not like a club night. We're not a, you know, I don't know. We don't necessarily fit in a. The only other like people we're in the box with is the people that do the same as us, which are competitors that, you know, have taken what they've taken from us. So we don't really interact with them either. So I feel like a lot of the time, I feel like not in a negative way, but it's just that there's not as much interaction. But no, I definitely want to be at a role now.
I think you are like no, but if you look at like Jess's journey from, you know, starting off from 10 years to what position that you're doing now, from what, you know, from the team that you're, you know, Jess effectively runs the business.
Yeah.
You know, and from doing that and not being a age thing, but you know, you were doing that, you know, for, you know, you won loads of awards and stuff. Best female business leader under 30. You got awards coming in left, right, and centre.
And also, like, it's because you've given her a platform too. Like, it's a two-way thing. It's
it definitely is. And I think the thing for me is that I always say, like, when like mates and stuff ask about it, it's kind of like I think it's the combination of like being lucky, like it was the right time, right, you know, situation of kind of, you know, working with Josh first, and then him obviously, you know, meeting you and creating Bongo's Bingo together. It's not like, but then after that, it's kind of like the hard work, right? So you kind of like, well, I didn't create the business, but you know, hopefully that I'm part of what the creation is now, if you know what I mean. But yeah,
you're just being humble, but I actually,
You both are humble.
I actually, I don't want to embarrass you here, Jess, but I've actually brought all of Jess's awards and I've put them here, so I'm gonna start bringing them one by one.
Has he actually done that? I was thinking, what?
I came into the studio yesterday and hid them all.
I love that. You're both humble. Like, you're both
God.
extremely humble, and I can see that. So, is there anything that you want our listeners to know about how they can sort of connect with Bongos, things that you've got going on? I know you had this streaming channel, you were doing a podcast for a bit.
I'd probably just say get your flights booked for Helsinki.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get out there.
What are the dates on it?
I don't know. There's websites and all.
I love that.
Get involved.
Get
Basically.
involved.
I think just follow along. You know, that's kind of.
I think if
Come
you've
along if you want
I
to.
think if you've never, to anyone listening that's never been to a show, come and check
Let's
it
get
out
your ass
and
there.
and bring your family, bring your nan. and
Yeah,
all.
like I always say, and I know you say the same. Just try it once, and like, I'd guarantee you'd probably love it. But even if you didn't want to, you know, come back all the time, I don't think you'll walk out the door going, "Why have I gone there?" You know what I mean? You'll definitely have a great time.
And look, you're doing a High Rocks model. People can now get this like holiday,
Well, maybe we
go
can entertain-
abroad.
yeah.
You know?
We can entertain people in the queues
Yeah.
for the ball wall.
Wall ball.
Maybe.
Well, yeah, I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should get
Yeah.
the unicorns out.
Yeah.
Love
We've been
it.
High Rocks, are we? Yeah.
Hybrid
I mean,
business model.
I'm not going to do it. I'm definitely not doing High Rocks, but
What about
entertainment.
CrossFit? You want to do CrossFit?
No.
Is that still a thing? Is
I think so, yeah.
Is High Rocks
It kind
the
of
new CrossFit?
CrossFit went down a bit and High Rocks kind of
What
took
about
over.
Reformer? Are
Is
we
it-
into
Oh, yeah,
Reformer?
everyone's into Reformer.
Yeah.
Reformer,
Yeah.
yeah.
Isn't High Rocks just the same thing as CrossFit?
I don't know.
No, it's
We
not.
don't
It's like
listen.
CrossFit's a lot.
We're going to start
Yeah,
pissing
people are
people
going
off
to
here.
people get
Sorry,
pissed off.
okay.
The CrossFitters are going to give you some viral
Yeah,
hate.
stay in your bingo. People will be going, stay in your bingo
So
lane.
gambling?
You're just chatting about bingo. Don't be,
Yeah, I take it back. Let's edit that bit out.
it's Bikram yoga for me. That's the only one I do. Bikram
bet.
yoga. Get my profilo. That's what I'm saying.
Get you what?
Profilo is
What's
that
that?
a thing?
It's the
Profilo
face thing, isn't it?
face thing and get laminate.
Laminate brows.
Yeah.
It's
More than
why
me.
you're,
That's why I look
you're nearly
36, isn't it?
turning 40, but you
Look
look
36.
like 36.
36, isn't it?
Love it. Well, thank you so much for joining
Thanks
me.
for
today,
having
guys.
us.
Yeah, that was
Epic.
really fun.
So
And
good.
you're going to come do a show soon?
Of course.
Helsinki?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
there.
Norway?
Belgium.
2 hours sleep
Yeah,
in
no-
Norway, yeah?
Yeah,
2 hours of light, is
2 hours
it?
of light.
2 hours
But
of
you're in
light.
Dubai, aren't you?
Yeah, in Dubai.
Going blah, blah?
Yeah.
Let's go to Dubai.
Let's go to Dubai.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Dubai's
Thanks-
better.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having us on.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.